Hey yo, what is up, Yaks Pravi? Today's video is not so much about the Kanonenpanzer Flamethrower because I've already covered this tank in a previous video if you want to know about the stats of this tank. But today we are going to talk a little bit about how this tank is going to work and how the Flamethrower mechanic is going to work in the future. There's been a recent Q&A on the Leicester server because there was a lot of interest on this tank, so a lot of people are asking questions about this tank, and the Wargaming staff there have already answered some of them. So I want to pass you this information about the future of World of Tanks Flamethrower tanks. There's going to be a whole branch of these tanks, so we need to answer some of these questions. Of course, the Flamethrower mechanic was kind of like taken from Art of Strategy game mode. It was a flamethrower tower, and if you're going to look ahead in the future, this means there's going to be more assets from Art of Strategy and Steel Hunter. These mechanics, from Frontlines, these mechanics will be incorporated into the game. Stuff like artillery strikes, air strikes, minefield, maybe the recon flight from Frontlines, maybe the smoke screen, maybe some of the Sentinel, some of the assets from Sentinel, some of the field repairs might be incorporated into the game in the future. I'm telling you this because they are already adding the flamethrowers in. These are assets that have already been developed in-game and been used for many years, so it's not going to be a surprise that they will add it into the game in the near future. Now, briefly about the test model, this is the Kanonenpanzer. It is a test bid. They're still testing it out. It's not 100% set in stone yet, so let's get straight to the questions. The first question is it possible to do damage to multiple vehicles at the time? Now, the implementation of the flamethrower is similar to a machine gun burst. So the straight answer is yes. In general, the concept is going to be burst damage, like a machine gun damage, right? It's going to shoot all over the place. It's not necessarily going to hit the center of the reticle. So anything in its path, it's going to get shot, except for your own teammates, of course. Can there be non-penetrations? Yes, this is possible. A jet of flames and the high explosive projectile have similar mechanics. So similar mechanics to high explosives. Can it penetrate? Yes. Can it not penetrate? Also yes. Will there be a 25 plus minus 25% rule RNG apply to the mechanics of damage from flamethrower? Yes. 25% plus minus RNG applies to the flamethrowers as well. Next question, how will damage modules, both internal and external, from flamethrower tank be calculated? This is still a work in progress. In fact, the mechanics of damage distribution by models will be conditionally similar to stun from an SPG shot. So the direction they're going is following something like an SPG damage mechanic. So sometimes big damage, sometimes small damage. It depends on the module, it depends on where the shot lands and stuff like that. Next question, will it be possible to incapacitate the crew by inflicting damage on the enemy vehicle from a flamethrower? Yes, it is possible to completely destroy the crew even in high tier tanks. Of course, the smaller size the crew, and the less armored the tank, the more damage that crew and tank is going to take. So yes, it is possible to knock out the crew, 100% possible. Is it possible to cause ammo rack or explosion? Yes, there is possibly a possibility for ammo rack and explosion. Will the flamethrower tank knock out knock down tracks? Yes, it will. How will the mechanics of fire damage through various obstacles, destructible and indestructible objects? Same damage mechanics is the answer. Destructible obstacles will absorb part of the damage units and will be visually destroyed. Indestructible obstacles are an insurmountable barrier to the jet of fire. Means the same mechanics apply. Destructible objects still going to be destructible. If you do enough damage to the destructible objects, it will get destroyed and you will see the visual destruction of it, while walls and buildings that are indestructible will remain indestructible. Okay, next question. Will the stun go through obstacles? Relatively speaking, like SPG shooting, splash damage behind a stone? No, it will not be possible to shoot through rocks, walls, buildings. So the fire will not go through walls and buildings and rocks, not like HE shells from artillery. Next question. If an ally is hit by flamethrower tank, will they be damaged? I already answered that. No, it will. There is no possibility for team damage. Next question. How will stun mechanic from flamethrower tank shot work? If you remove the stun effect with the first aid kit, can you immediately get it again? This is what they are working on. The stun will activate the moment of hitting. The moment you hit the jet, it means as soon as you get shot at from a flamethrower, you will be stunned immediately from it. There is plans to remove the mechanics of the first aid kit and repair kit so that the time they give when restunning damage is possible. This means that they are trying to work on the countdown mechanic of the first aid kit, because if you apply first aid kit when you are stunned, you will wait another 1.5 minutes before your first aid kit is repaired again, while at the same time the flamethrower tank is going to be able to shoot you again. So they're going to have to change how the first aid kit repairs work, because they need to regen quicker, because the flamethrowers are going to be able to shoot you again and again and again. It is a 3-shot autoloader, remember. So if you get stunned, you repair, and then you get stunned again, then it's going to be a real disadvantage to you if you do not have your repair kit ready. So they're working on it. We don't know what is the final outcome yet. Next question. What objects on the map will be able to burn? Now, initially, additional effects of the destruction of the environment were not planned. That means they don't plan to make trees, grass and fences to burn yet, but there are plans to add this further in the future in the game. So let's see how that develops. How will the detonation of ammunition or flamethrower tank look like? From the point of view of the logic historically, will the flamethrower tank itself be more prone to fires and explosions of ammunition? The answer is the ammunition load of flamethrower tank. It's a tank with fire mixture. The chance of ammo rack is very small, since it will not have shells. In that sense, it does not have shells, but it's a flamethrower. But the chance of it catching fire is going to be noticeably higher, because the size of the fuel tanks, it's going to carry more fuel, burning kerosene or fuel or whatever. So the chance of it catastrophically exploding is less, but the chance of it catching fire is going to be higher, because it's going to carry more fuel for the flames. Okay, if that makes sense. Next question. Can the flamethrower tank deal damage to itself? No, it cannot. So you can't shoot into a wall and do damage to yourself. No, it cannot. Will the damage from the fire be applied along the entire length or to the final point of impact? The answer, it says here, at the point of impact, which means the stream of fire does not do damage, but the receiving end of that fire does damage. I don't know exactly how to explain this, or I'm also not entirely sure how it's going to work, but this is the answer that's been given to this specific question. So I do not have a full answer to this question. Next question, how will the damage be done if the tank is in the water? And the answer is damage will be inflicted if it hits the surface of the enemy vehicle. So what I'm reading from this is if the tank is underwater, it's not going to receive any damage, but the part of the tank that is above water, that part is going to receive damage. That is what I'm gathering out of this information. Next question, will the flamethrower tank be damaged if it drives over the leftover flame? No. This question means does the flamethrower tank receive any damage if it is driving over any other tank that is burning? And the answer is no, it is not. Next question, will there be any restrictions on the number of flamethrower tanks in battle? Yes, the answer is yes. It's going to be balanced just like SPGs and wheeled tanks. So if there's going to be one wheeled tank on your team, there's going to be one wheeled tank in the enemy team. So will the flamethrower tanks. If there's one on your team, there's going to be one on the enemy team. Next question, how many flamethrower tanks can go into battle or in a platoon? Will there be limitations or restrictions? Yes, there's going to be restrictions to number and type of tanks in battle, just like SPGs. Yes, since the flamethrower tanks is a support vehicle, accordingly there should be those in platoon who need support. Yes, there's going to be some kind of limitations to the platoons as well, is what I'm gathering from this answer. Next question, do you plan to make mirror balance? If one team has flamethrower, the other team should have it too. We are looking at considerations and various options, but at the moment it is difficult to say how this will be implemented. Yes, so there is plans to do this, but they don't know how exactly they're going to roll this out just yet. Questions about in-game achievements. Will there be marks of excellence on the barrel? Yes, but not sure how they're going to implement it because the gun barrel is kind of shorter than your normal tanks, but they do plan to put some kind of MOE on those tanks. Will it be possible to take the Bombardier Award away from on the flamethrower tank? Of course, Bombardier Award is a destruction of at least 2 enemy vehicles with one shot. The answer is no, you won't be able to get Bombardier Award because from the point of view of the system, the stream of fire is perceived as a burst of hits. Again, like a machine gun, it's going to be a burst of hits. It's not like splash damage on HE shells. Next question, will it be possible to complete stun missions? From my understanding here, it says no, it won't be able to do stun missions on the flamethrower tanks. Next question, will there a full branch of such tanks be planned? Yes, they're going to do complete tech trees with flamethrowers. Yes, the answer is yes, there's going to be tech tree tanks. Should we expect other mechanics such as multi-turreted 2 guns of different calibers? The answer is it is not excluded. This means there are no such plans in the near future, but since development resource, they are not unlimited. What they are trying to say is they are not excluding this possibility. That means, like I mentioned earlier in this video, RT strikes, air strikes, minefield, recon flight, smoke screen, sentinel, field repairs, all these are on the table. It could be done in the near future or in the further ahead in the future, who knows, but they are not discounting this possibility. Okay, next question is, what vehicle class will flamethrower tanks belong to? The answer is a flamethrower is a weapon type, not a vehicle class. So in other words, the equipment on which the flamethrower is installed can belong to a different class. So it could be tank destroyer, it could be medium tanks, it could be heavy tanks, it could be SPG. Flamethrowers are not a class of tank, it is a weapon type. So they're not discounting the fact that they could put it into any kind of tank, medium, heavy, or light tanks. It could be any kind of possibility. When we see the changes in the game, they are promising this game mechanic for 2023. So expect 2023 flamethrowers in Leicester server 100%. For the rest of the world, we'll see how it develops. If it's going to be a popular game mechanic, I can guarantee you 100% we're going to receive this for the rest of the world as well. Hope you enjoyed this video and got more understanding to what's happening with the flamethrower mechanic and what they're going to do about it. And I'll see you on the next video. Dakuyu and do Strici.